Hello, and welcome to Team S's final project presentation. My name is Marian Sua, and I will be introducing our project and giving a little bit of background. Our goal for our project was to design a better online education portal for both the students and faculty users. For us, this meant creating a streamlined, simplified user interface and adding more functionality, such as an integrated note-taking feature, chat capability, and the option to add comments under class videos. Since our midterm presentation, we have developed 2 more user interface prototypes. We will be demonstrating our last user interface prototype for you in a few moments. We have also developed UML diagrams for our architecture phase. These UML diagrams include a class diagram, an activity diagram, 2 sequence diagrams, and a state chart. We use these UML diagrams as architecture design for our first architecture prototype. During our user interface design phase, we primarily focused on a user-centered design process. After we finished our last UI prototype, we switched gears and focused primarily on an engineering design process for our architecture design phase. In this presentation, we will demonstrate for you our final user interface prototype. We also have 1 iteration of our architecture prototype in progress. We will discuss the processes we have used since the midterm. We will discuss feedback we have received inside and outside of our group and the effects this feedback has had on our prototype. And we will share our final project status. Now we will demonstrate for you our final user interface prototype.
Hello, I'm Nathan Waitman, and I'm going to demonstrate our final UI prototype. We've had 3 prototypes total throughout the course. We've had 2 since the midterm, 1 prior to the midterm. We've had challenges in receiving feedback from outside our own group, so we've only been able to use internal feedback from our own group discussions in order to improve our prototype. As I click through and show and demonstrate our prototype, I will show how we've responded to certain feedback in order to improve our prototype. First, this is our login page for our education portal. Here you can click to log in, and it leads you to your portal homepage. From here, you can go into your specific course, and it gives you a generic page here for your homepage. And then you can go into your course materials for the week. As you can see, we've streamlined the design of each page so that they look uniform. That has been a response to feedback since our original prototype wasn't uniform. We all worked on pages separately, and it didn't have the same streamlined look. But we've improved that. Here you can see all the different lecture materials for each lesson, and we've also added a comment section for the video, much like a YouTube video comment section, in order to receive feedback and to be able to post things and receive responses from your questions about video content. We have a chat room box that we've opened. All these things to improve the way that we interact through the course so we can interact with students and receive help more easily throughout our experience in taking the course. We've also added a notes section where a pop-out window comes up so we can still view the course material as we take notes, and several different links to be able to do different things with those notes. We have links here on the top bar that we're able to go to different parts of the course portal. There's a syllabus to be able to display the syllabus for that particular course, a grade section to be able to view your grades for the different courses you're in, a notes section where you can save your notes and be able to edit, share, print, and export those notes, and finally a discussion board to be able to post discussion posts and be able to receive feedback that way through the different discussion posts. There's also, of course, up here a help section to be able to receive help when needed in the course. Another response to feedback that we did was having a faculty version of the course portal to be able to give more functionality to the faculty rather than just the student, And so down here we have a faculty version of the course materials here, and we've added a lot of features in order to edit things. You can press the edit button and be able to edit content so that you can help change the course materials if necessary to be able to update them or whatever needed. The same types of links are available up here. There's a grade book so that the teacher can enter in grades and assignments. There's a chat room as well, and other various functions in order to allow the faculty to have the same types of function as a student, but also add editing functions to be able to do the things that they would like to do. And so this is a demonstration of our prototype, and we have also been working on an architectural prototype that we don't have ready yet to demonstrate, but it is going to take the particular use case of the notes section and be able to show the functionality of the notes section to better demonstrate one of those aspects of our course and how we can better improve that section in order to have the student be able to have a note-taking ability within the course and be able to use those notes and edit and share accordingly through the section. And that is our final prototype. Thank you.
We went through 3 UI prototype iterations. During these, we continued leveraging UCD techniques such as prototyping, experience mapping, and risk analysis. We integrated user feedback into our work in an effort to make the UI as intuitive as possible. We learned to capitalize on features that users received positively and to polish those that users weren't so happy about. UCD was a big part of our initial success, and so we decided to keep going with it. Our general solution design is pretty simple. Focus on the features exposed in our UI prototypes and keep building on them. We would like to keep our implementation true to our design ideas, and the UI prototype we built by following UCD techniques will make that possible. As a result, we came up with an architecture design that seemed to match our UI design closely in terms of functionality. Personas helped us get into the mindset of potential users. This gave us the ability to fine-tune our UI designs to match these needs, and it also exposed flaws introduced or not considered in earlier iterations. Prototypes helped us get critical feedback on our approach and gave us pointers as to how things should change in order to improve usability. Having gone through enough UI prototype iterations, we decided we could go the engineering design process route with our architectural prototype. So why did we choose EDP over UCD? Our requirements were identified and refined during the previous UI design iterations. This gave us enough confidence to proceed with an approach that still focuses on users and their needs via requirements, while also allowing us to spend more time on the technical challenges that come with building a working prototype. And these are the steps that we highlighted as being important that relate to EDP. Selecting a design and develop a detailed design. During these phases, we consider our project criteria and constraints. Given the nature of the application, which is highly interactive, we chose to develop a web application prototype. We had discussions to determine design specifics and reached an agreement on what would yield the greatest amount of benefits to our users. Finally, we have creating models and prototypes. After settling on a design, we leveraged UML tools to create a domain model that satisfies our architectural prototype requirements. We created sequence diagrams, class diagrams, and state charts in an attempt to validate our design choices and make the implementation process go smoothly.
Now to discuss once again the status of our project. We were slightly behind schedule in completing the third UI iteration and the first UML iteration, since we ended up having to work on them simultaneously. Furthermore, although we expected to have the instructor view of the portal in the second UI iteration, our focus shifted to improving the overall website. The instructor view was pushed to iteration 3. Now we have a clear direction for completing the rest of our project. We expect to be finished on time. The main risks I covered back in the first presentation were scheduling conflicts and misunderstanding the requirements. In the event that a team member suddenly became unavailable and or didn't finish their share of the week's work, we set early deadlines to give the rest of us enough time to compensate. If project requirements were unclear, we knew first to discuss them among ourselves before posting on the course discussion board or asking the instructor. Thankfully, neither of these emerged during the course of the project. Now that we've moved into the project architecture phase, a new risk has emerged. We are, after all, building a web application meant to be accessed on a web browser. This requires technologies that many of us are unfamiliar with, a factor that may hamper the work on our architectural prototype. To mitigate this, we have one team member who is familiar with this sort of project and able to guide the rest of us. That last risk feeds into the question of implementation. We certainly have the skills and tenacity to create this education portal, but technology is the main issue. To implement our project, we would have to learn a great deal about developing web applications, thus the process would likely move at a slower pace. This concludes TeamS's second presentation. We've certainly learned a lot since starting this course and working on our project, so thank you all for a great session.